Hey, how are you? Oh, sorry. I was just looking at Blank Screen's Bondsman. Oh my God. I just picture like a bunker somewhere with a whole bunch of screens that Blank Screen and all of Blank Screen's family members and bondsmen. Does Blank Screen have a hairdresser? If so, could you please send them to Betty's channel? Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Memorial Day weekend. It's actually on Monday, right? Hey, Headstones. How you doing? Oh, Emmy. I brought this coffee cup in. Well, the reason's twofold. All the other ones are in the dishwasher dirty, but I saw this one. I usually don't ever drink out of this one, just decorative, but I thought, oh, I think I'm going to use it. Isn't that adorable? I have some other cat mugs that are decorative only because they're just, you can't even drink out of them. They're too hard. Hey, SoFlo Mama, Texas Tiffany, how you doing? Bash the Tragedy Pimps, how are you? You have seen Blank Screen's hairdresser. Oh, good. How about, can we get a Blank Screen's Glam Squad or Blank Screen's style? How about Blank Screen's stylist? And then in parentheses, you can put Lisa. Okay. Thanks, SoFlo Mama. Isn't it cute? Hello, Willow Sun. How are you? Okay, you guys. Hey, Amethyst Moon. How are you doing? Oh, Heels in the Air should be joining any moment now. SoFlo Mama. I was hoping to maybe get the tea on that from someone who knows. I did see. Now let's see what. Oh, Deets on the Street. She did a fantastic short video about the very sad breakup between JLR and Bullhorn Betty. Oh, so sad. Not really. My goodness, Betty, girl, you better make nice with I think Betty's losing her shit just a little bit. My goodness, Betty, you've got no man, no friends in real life or on YouTube, and your stupid ass subs, those are not friends. Maybe her mods are her friends. Why would she have friends? She doesn't do anything to make people want to be. First of all, she has no clue how to be a friend. She barely has a clue how to be a fucking human being. You think she knows how to be a friend? No, not so much. And I mean, it's pretty bad when good Lord, I don't know who I want to throw my support behind. Not that I'm, you know what I'm saying. I mean, but let's just play a fun little game here. Tell me in the chat who you're picking. If I told you, you have to, like, upon penalty of death, you must make a choice. Betty or JLR? I know who I'm picking. And I'll disclose that shortly. Oh, thank you, Amethyst. That's very sweet of you. It is Anastasia Beverly Hills, Norvina. That was the one I was trying to think of the other day. Pula May, how are you? That's a new name. Wisconsinite. It's funny because everybody is taking my pick, JLR. Yes, I'm stating it out here for the record. Now listen, that doesn't mean that he's not a douche. He is. And he's done horrible things and probably is continuing to do so. But at least, put it this way, I'm strictly guessing, but Lisa Cartwheel, you choose death. No, you don't. Thank you, Blank Screens Bond, the Blank Screens Bondsman. I appreciate that. That's very nice. At least JLR, you can take him out somewhere. And yeah, he's going to look like a slee stack and he's not going to blink. But, you know, your chances of having to, you know, catch an ass beating in the parking lot because of something he said or did in that very short window of time while you were, you know, trying to get a cheeseburger to shove down your throat. You know, I would say the chances are much less of catching said ass beating with JLR than it is with Betty. Because, you know, Betty's going to be in the restaurant. She's going to get, I don't like this table. And your menu said you had X, Y, and Z. And this food sucks. And I'm a very important political figure here in Manatee County. And I'm YouTube famous. I will make your life miserable. I mean, she's the kind of bitch that you go out with her and you're taking your chances that somebody's not going to follow you to your car in the parking lot and beat your ass, because that's who she is. Like, that's what she enjoys. I think JLR, he's much more in it for the long game, so to speak. I think that, you know, he can be affable in the short term. She can never be nice for any extended period of time. And by that, I mean, you know, however long it takes, once the hostess says, bitter, miserable, ugly bitch, party of one, your table is now available. Yeah, from the time the hostess says that until they, you know, they watch her take the last bite of food that they've probably put ground up glass in because she has bitched her way from the parking lot to the table, party of one. Yeah. So, you know, there is that. Yeah, my money's on JLR. I'm taking JLR. And funny enough, and let's also keep this in mind. Another one of my reasons for picking JLR. Oh, he is much more mentally superior than Betty is every day of the week. Betty's just dumb AF with everything, in my opinion. Hey, Nonsense, how you doing? So, yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, trust me, this is not an endorsement of JLR. Not at all. I'm just trying to make the point that I mean, you are at the bottom of the YouTube barrel Interestingly enough, that was a thumbnail I saw somewhere. Where did I see that? Hey, Kit, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, the majority of this chat has chosen JLR. JLR, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Never mind. I was going to say to claim your prize, a dinner date. So, for all of you that have a long weekend, I hope you enjoy it. I am going to put this link in the chat for when Heels gets here. Okay, what else is going on in this dump? Nothing's rotten in Denmark. Well, thank God for that. Do you know how that expression came to be? I need to Google that, because you know how many times in my life I've said that something's fishy in Denmark. So what else going on up in this hood? Oh, goodness gracious. Boy, it always amazes me how quickly events can take a turn in a very short span of time. So there was a couple things. Let me just look at my little notes here. Heels and I, hey, Diamond Cutter, how you doing? Heels and I just sent her a text earlier, and I said, let's just shoot the shit and talk about what's going on up in this dump. Oh, my goodness. Can anyone, Emmy, I'm sure you can do this. I did see you were live today, and I did pop in and listen for a few minutes. Girl, I couldn't get in that chat because I had things I had to get done, and I'm like, no. You know why? Another reason I couldn't chat, besides the fact that even if I hadn't melted my iPad, when I texted Heels this morning, I said, girl, I need you to help me. I got to get on YouTube, if for no other reason than I've bought 8 pair of shoes since yesterday. Listen, I knew this was going to be a problem on Wednesday or Thursday. I thought to myself, oh shit, you know what? This is another shopping holiday. The sales on Memorial Day, at least a lot of the places I like to shop, and I'm sure everywhere, I am getting emails, text messages with, all these fabulous offers. Yeah. Me and the UPS and the FedEx guy, we have an understanding. In fact, I need to talk to them about that, because I think I told you guys that my husband was at the grocery store a few weeks ago and ran into our UPS driver, a regular guy. Who knows? Don't be like, dude, don't be dropping a dime on me, telling my damn husband how many packages you're delivering. I have a system. Listen, here's my system. When I go to the mall, if I go to a brick and mortar, which that's pretty rare these days, but if I happen to be in the vicinity of a Nordstrom and there's like this gravitational force that just pulls my car right into the parking lot. And then it's just like being sucked out of like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when they had that shoot and that little bitch, what was her name? Veronica. Yeah, her. She got sucked up in that thing. Well, that's kind of what happens. First, when I get within about a mile or two, my car just starts like, you'd almost think that thing was self-driving. No, I do not have a self-driving Tesla. But then, my goodness, that pull gets even stronger once I get in the parking lot, and then there's no fighting it. I mean, forget it. So Oh, Notre Dame, thank you. Oh, that is actually wallpaper. It's not a green screen and it's not a picture. That's a wallpaper mural. And I think it's 4 pieces. But don't believe for 1 minute what they tell you, which is, oh, it's self-stick and you can do it yourself, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hell no. No, I paid my wallpaper guy to do that. Society 6 is where I got that. Society6.com, and it's 6 the number, not spelled out. And they have, oh my God, you name it, they have it as far as wallpaper goes. Okay, so anyway, here's my system for getting my purchases from one location to the other. Well, depending on how many bags and how big they are, I try and do like kind of like a Russian nesting doll. I try and combine the bags. And then I bring them in. Listen, and I'm only partially joking. My husband, I could bring a fucking body rolled up in a piece of carpet, and he'd be like, "Oh God, I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know what. She does some crazy shit. I don't know." My husband, God bless him, he's got the longest fuse you can ever imagine. It usually blows once or twice a year. And even then, I got to work real hard to get that to happen. But that being said, there's no sense like trying to take the initial sting out of the, I don't want Visa and MasterCard to, or Amex to lose their moment in the sun when the online statement is, when they're kind enough to send you the email telling you that your statement is ready. It's like, oh, goody. Who the hell's ever said, oh, God, great, can't wait. Yeah, and like my husband, the one thing you do not play with is we do not carry any credit card balances. None. We use our credit cards like debit cards. I have store cards that I use for the points, and those are only for the big 3. The big 3 being Neiman's, Nordstrom's. I can't even talk. Neiman's, Nordstrom's, and Saks. I like those points because, hey, when I used to use Amex for my business, well, once you spent $10,000, they gave you 500 points. And it was like, you got like $100. No, it was a penny. Was it a penny a point? I don't know. But basically, you'd have to spend $5,000 or $10,000 to get what amounted to a fucking pair of jeans. But it was like, well, I don't care. I'll take it. And that's more than some people give you. So even though because I don't want to have, Visa and MasterCard and Amex miss their moment in the sun when starting to open the bill, I try and, just maybe bring the bags in when, my husband prefers to like, just hit me with it all at once. No death by 1,000 cuts. We don't want that. So, that's one strategy. And then my other strategy is, I tell the UPS guy, I'm like, dude, I'm here almost all the time. You don't need to knock. And whatever you do not push that Ring doorbell, okay? My husband doesn't need to like be at the office and open up the phone and see 100 boxes sitting out. So when the one UPS guy dropped a dime on me at the damn Publix, I was like, that bastard must be new. Like, dude, do you want me to revoke your Chick-fil-A gift card at Christmas time? Because don't push a bitch, because I promise you I will do it. So anyway, where the hell was I going with that? Oh, yeah. I told Heels, I'm like, my God, girl, if nothing else, I need to get on YouTube so I can get the hell off of the damn all the internet sales that I'm buying shoes left, right, center. And truthfully, y'all, I buy a lot of my own stuff. Just because I'm not that girl, like I'm not going to anybody and saying, "Oh, honey, can I have blah blah because I want blah blah." And trust me, I know exactly where that price point is when we leave the realm of, yeah, I buy what I want. I know I know to the dime, to the decimal point where that line is. And once a purchase exceeds that threshold, then I take care of it. Yes, that's why I work. I work because I have never been that girl. I'm not about to start now. And yeah, don't get it twisted. It's nice to not have to buy all my own things, but it's a system and it works for us. Emmy, what I was going to ask you. Hi, Pugs, how you doing? Tammy Lou, how you doing? Girl, I saw that bitch is trying to quit vaping. Oh, Betty, please keep vaping, honey. In fact, put one in each hand. Put 2 cigarettes up your nostrils. Maybe get a cigar. Oh, yeah, like Monica. Yeah, why don't you try that on for size? And Betty, really, I think cancer for you is probably preferable to going on a homicidal rampage, trying to come off of nicotine or vapes. Betty, you're already a miserable bitch. And now you're going to take substances out of the mix? Oh, no, I don't think you should do that, Betty. I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, good Lord. You've already got a very impressive criminal record. I don't think you need to be adding to that, girl. So smoke out. Come on. Nobody's proven yet that those vapes are, why would you think that smoking, oil? I mean, what makes you think that's bad for you? Especially when it's, in the flavor of, I don't know, like chocolate chip or, blackberry brandy or some such shit. Like, Betty, just, girl, give in. Just go buy yourself a damn carton of Newports. I'm sure it's just an ugly rumor that there's fiberglass inside of them. I'm just trying to picture that bitch raging out with no nicotine. Oh God. And since I live in the same state as her, I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't. Oh, headstones. I did see that. It's probably her mother's, or I do believe she does have one friend, supposedly, who conveniently, I think, lives out of state. Betty, if you have to pay them, does that still qualify as a friend? I'm not sure it does. Ooh, but I can't wait to hear about her and JLR. Emmy, did she say? Like, did she actually cop to the fact that there's some bad juju between her and JLR? Oh my God, you know what I would love to see? Ooh, I would love to see him give her the JLR treatment. Because I tell you this, what I do not believe for 1 minute, he is 1,000 times smarter than her, slicker than her. I don't know if he's more devious than her, probably. And I know she is probably delusional enough to think that she knows exactly how JLR ticks. She probably thinks she knows all his bag of tricks. Oh, bitch, I promise you don't. Hey, you, Brittany. So, ooh, JLR. Gosh, could I prevail upon you? Ooh, I would love to see that. But yes, Deets did a really cute video about this, about Betty and JLR. Oh God. Yes, and Emmy, I did see that well, a head bedpost that I don't think we've seen before. I do not believe that there is a man. I mean, I know there's been a total of at least 2 confirmed that have done the horizontal tango with bets. But no, I find it very hard to believe, unless there was an exchange of money somewhere, that he was getting laid. I mean, my God, just think if she got laid and like gave up this ridiculous idea of, no more vaping. Bitch, go get yourself a carton of cigarettes. Get on Grindr or Tinder, whatever the fuck the one is that you would use. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, my God, Betty, you might come up at YouTube's most hated woman list. Oh, blank screen. You hope he has body armor. Yeah, I do too. A helmet at the very least, for God's sake. A helmet and like well, yeah, kind of like the Knights wore. Although I don't think chainmail is not going to do it, because if she did one of these, I mean, chainmail getting ground into your flesh like a damn, hell, he could come away looking like he met the business end of a damn subway grate. That probably wouldn't be a good thing either. She was talking about blank screen. Well, I'm sure blank screen appreciates the shout outs. Oh, does anybody know what's the status of the FBI case, please? Is the Mindhunter involved? Have they had to call him in from retirement to... I'm just wondering if, like, what unit would handle that? Somebody had a good point. I don't remember who it was that said this, but I heard someone say, that bitch probably really did. And I tell you what, the more I thought about it, the more sense it makes. And that was this. Just because let's remember, the only part of that call that she let any of us hear was the phone tree part, the menu. Press 1 for bomb threats, press 2 for terroristic threats, press 3 for domestic, events that you want to report, in that vein, because most people are not stupid enough nor dumb enough to call the Federal Bureau of Investigation over an internet troll who spelled out the word grifter. Betty, it was 1 letter at a time. Maybe he thought he was, being Vanna White. We're playing Tragedy Pimp, Wheel of Fortune, Pat. Or no, Vanna. Vanna, tell our contestants what they win if they win this round. Spin that wheel. Oh, I'd like to buy a vowel, please. A. Yeah, the one choice I didn't hear was press 7 if you're a menace to society and the dumbest bitch on YouTube. Please press 7. and hold for the rest of eternity. Yeah, I didn't hear that choice come up. And it makes perfect sense to me that, and I do believe that she is this conniving and devious. Hey, Sofa King, how you doing? I think it makes perfect sense that, because of her whole life, well, except for, her personal aesthetic and her fashion game, I was going to say her whole life is smoke and mirrors, just not where it counts. Yeah, because, Betty's skincare line consists of, well, I've got two ideas for when we start merchandising. And her skincare line can either consist of an ice pick and some witch hazel, so you too could have Betty's complexion. Or then I remembered another one of my zingers from back in the day. We could have a bottle of the witch hazel and a pair of golf shoes. Yes. So it is entirely in the realm of possibility that she simply dialed the number, put it on speaker, so everyone in her attempt to intimidate, because that's the name of the game with her. That's Betty's whole life is, it's not just a motto, it's a way of life. Intimidate and bully them into submission. Yeah, so I don't find it a far-fetched idea at all. Oh, blank screen. Hello. Were your ears ringing? I don't find it far-fetched at all that she actually called, put it on speaker, and then very conveniently hit with the phone that you can't see, whoop, put it on mute, put the mic on mute, and then proceeded to call her mommy or someone else. And you get the picture. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, but yeah, Emmy, I did see that tall, dark, handsome four-post bed. Inquiring minds want to know. Well, I guess was her mood like, I don't know, better than it's probably been in 19 years? Like, if so, then I might tend to believe somebody tapped that ass. I mean, what was that I was saying about smoke and mirrors and fantasy worlds? Yeah. I don't think that's probably the case. Oh, she was still a douche? Yeah, well, no. Oh, did you know that when referring to a woman, instead of saying, well, if you don't want to just say douche, because like when we're talking about a man, usually you don't say it about a woman. Usually you'll say douchebag. Although I guess it is a unisex term, but when you're talking about a woman, there is a designated douche insult, and you call her a douche baguette. I love that. Flag of Ireland hanging in her dirty window. Oh, you mean at the mystery four-poster bed? You declined? She wants you to come to her house? Oh, that's right. Doesn't she want to show you her precious metal? Bitch, my precious metal, it's called platinum. Yeah, not nickel or lead. God, Betty, what, like, I wonder if Betty knows about the gifts that you're supposed to, request. Well, this is back in civilized times when, each year of marriage, that milestone was marked by a very specific thing. Paper, in cotton, silver, gold, diamonds. I don't know if there actually is a diamond designation. And nowadays nobody stays married long enough to find out. So a ditch witch. I used to know what that was. Mainly because I heard it and I'm like, oh my God, I love the sound of that. Ditch witch. It's got such a nice ring to it. Like it should be one of Heloise's helpful hints or something. So I asked my husband, I'm like, honey, what's a ditch witch? And he told me what it was. And I'm like, oh, no, God, it sounded so much better when I didn't know what it was. Hey, Earth, how you doing, girl? To Kelly, how are you? Oh, God. Blank screen. Listen, let me tell you something funny. I don't think, or blank screen bondsman. Oh, you were in here when I was talking about the shoes, buying the shoes, a lot of the shoes. Well, hey, Monroe, how are you? One of the brands that I love is Brian Atwood. And you know how sometimes you just, for whatever reason, this happens to me quite a bit. Like I will see, like I looked up and saw your comment that says the A Brotherhood. And I swear to you, when I looked up, I got shoes on the brain because when I looked up, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Blank screen likes Brian Atwood too. Now, yes, I know that yours was AB and Brian Atwood is BA, but nonetheless, I got shoes on the brain. So I just saw Brian Atwood. I am doing great, Earth. How are you, girl? We keep opposite hours in this shit show here. That's why I never see you anymore. You're up all night and sleep during the day, I presume. And I'm the opposite. I am rendered straight up useless after, I'm not going to tell you the real time because you'll be looking at me like, God, how old are you? So we'll just say I'm useless after, let's say 10. Hey, Fairy Dust, how you doing? Blank screen. You may not, blank screen bondsman, you may not be too far off. I think I told her myself. Well, I don't know about her house, but yes. I don't know about her house, but definitely her car. Hands down, yes. I'm not Molly. I'm not going to read that comment out loud because I'm not trying to have people think I'm flexing. But everyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. And definitely the car. The house, that's debatable. But the car, oh, hell yes. Yes. Without a doubt. Those things, they have their own designated room here. And it's not where the other things live. Okay. Oh, blank screen bondsman. You want to hear a funny story about that? I probably shouldn't admit this because it will show my very believe it or not, there's a shallow side to me. In all reality, well, no, there is, but trust me, I know what's important and what's not. But don't get it twisted now. Let's see how many years ago this was. Not this last hurricane, but the hurricane before the Ian, which was about a year ago. Oh yeah, the one that Betty says just, oh my God, ripped the damn fly paper right off of her. Oh, I'm sorry, tar paper. What? Who's ever heard of a roof that comes on a roll of paper. I still don't understand what that is. But yeah, so that was Ian. Before Ian, all right, let me think about this. There was a hurricane that we were supposed to get. It didn't happen, but it was predicted that it was going to make landfall close to where I live, close enough to where I live that we were, as a lifelong Floridian, I do not get wound up over hurricanes. I have lived here my whole life. I have never I've never experienced a direct hit. That one though, when my husband, who's even more laid back about it than me, when my husband starts to get concerned, I definitely sit up and take note. So I'm trying to remember this because I had my best friend of 30 years, the one who died of breast cancer about 2 years ago. She was in an evacuation zone, and so was her mother, who had Alzheimer's, and they all came to my house. So it was her mom, who was late stage Alzheimer's, later than we even knew at the time, and her stepfather, and oh my God, I had 2 dogs and 3 cats, so that's 5 animals. She had a dog, and her mother had a dog. So I had 4 dogs and 3 cats. And her mother actually ended up dying a week after that hurricane that missed us. Thank God. We did not get the hit. Oh, thank you, Earth. I appreciate that, honey. But okay, so, and then I remember my girlfriend died maybe, I don't think it was even 2 years after her mom died. So we're talking maybe 5, 6 years ago. My husband is one of these that you're just never going to see him sweat. You just won't. That's why I guess we're good together, because he's very calm, much like myself. So I guess we offset each other. My husband, I remember I got together my son's baby things, like his baby book, and I have a box of, I saved everything from when my son was little. I saved his first school uniform. I saved his first soccer uniform. I saved his first Halloween costume, his first Christmas outfit. Okay, so I had a lot. So I got all that together, and I got all my, old school hard copy pictures together. And I had everything put into a bag that I could literally, if I had to, just grab that bag, and everything was in plastic, like huge Ziplocs. My husband is out mowing the grass. And I remember I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Why are you mowing the grass? Who gives a shit? And I remember I was talking to my girlfriend, and she's like, honey, just listen. That's he's stressed, and don't get on him about that. That's how he's relieving stress. I'm like, by mowing the grass, it's going to rip the damn sun out of the ground. We're not going to have a yard. So the only other thing I'm doing, okay, my husband and I never fight. Maybe once a year we'll have words. And when I say words, I mean words, and it's short and sweet, and it's when it's done, it's done. But I was a little stressed out. He was very stressed out because, there was a lot to worry about. I had multiple cars we were worrying about. And all that shit was insured to the moon and back. But when I was bitching at him about, I can't believe you're out there mowing the damn grass. And he goes, says the woman who's taking pictures of all her shoes and putting them in Ziploc bags. He's like, who do you think's going to carry all that shit? Well, when the neighbor comes and picks us up in a John boat, he's going to need to tow an extra one behind him to put my shoes in. But I did. That's what I did. I took pictures of everything because he said, well, yeah, it'll be covered under the homeowners. But then he said something about, well, then I had to confess what some of those shoes cost. But he's like, well, what the hell are you taking pictures of all of them for? And I wasn't just, I was showing the bottoms. I said, because I don't want them to come back and say, well, we're not going to pay you. I said, I want replacement value. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Hilarious. I don't even know how we got onto this. But, yeah. So it's entirely possible to me that Betty phoned a friend. Well, she didn't have any friends. Never mind. She called her mom and said, oh, yeah, hey, Mom, just go. When I do my fake FBI call. And if it's not fake, then my God, that bitch is even more like troubled than I already think she is, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you. You should think that. No, you don't need me to tell you that. Priorities. Yes, ma'am. I did it right. I did my first thing, which was, the irreplaceable things. But, yeah, my goodness, I did lose power for, I was very lucky. I only lost power for about 24 hours. My sister-in-law and some of my other in-laws who don't live that far from me, my God, they were out for over a week. Yes, and we went out and bought a generator. We had a small generator, but it wouldn't do the air conditioning, so we used it for the refrigerator. But we lucked out; we did not get a direct hit. But I thought, well, hell, I've already got the grab and go, the bug out bag, as the preppers call it. I've already got the bug out bag, so I may as well document my babies. So, that's what it was when somebody said that those things might exceed the value of her house. And I said, no, I don't think the house, but the car. Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, by God, I hope everything's all right with Heels in the Air. I wonder if she thought she's in a different time zone than me. And we always have a disconnect about the time. So, but hey, girl, if you're out there and you hear me, don't sweat it. I wasn't planning on staying on forever anyway. So I'll just talk about the other stuff I was going to talk about. Okay, so we already did the Betty. So Betty, Oh, Emmy, did Beth say anything about how's her? Is she jonesing? That's another item on my list we're going to talk about briefly. Is she losing her shit? Well, yes, I know that's rhetorical. I'm talking about degrees of losing her shit. Like, is she showing signs of? Is there a rampage coming somewhere? Maybe, possibly. Oh, I'm so tickled that she and JLR parted ways. JLR, I mean, listen, if you want to hit me up and give me some dirt, well, I'd love to hear it. Oh God, you know what? When I did that the other day, my goodness, I had to call my my nurse practitioner extraordinaire and say, "Girl, what the hell? I got like full eyebrow movement going on. When's my appointment?" And when she told me, I said, "Well, we must have made a damn mistake because, oh no, we're gonna need to move that up. I like to be frozen in time. Once I can move those eyebrows, gotta get some more." Okay. Oh, Coburger. Oh, I did see. I saw her stupid ass thumbnail. What's behind the eyes? Oh no, bitch. What's behind yours? We've all wondered that at one time or another. Because I don't know. I'm of the opinion that you are a vapid, rapacious, soulless bitch. So I wonder the same thing myself when I look at you like, hello. Oh God, I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, what's behind your eyes? What was that song? The Eagles. Lion eyes. You can't hide your lion eyes. Hey, Grandma Sherry, how you doing? Oh, she's gonna go to wine, huh? Woo! What do you suppose Betts drinks? Ernest and Julio's Finest, Gallo, Franzia. I used to be a wine drinker. I drink big girl wine, like Cabernet, Merlot, occasionally Merlot. A Syrah, occasionally. And I mean, I'm not a wine snob. No, my parents are wine snobs. Because to me, I always say it's only the first 1, 2 tops that matter, and after that, the shit all tastes the same. Oh, she's obsessed with Murdoch. Yeah, I know, but that's like, it's a done deal. Okay, he's never leaving prison. To me, all the rest of these things are a giant ass waste of the taxpayers' money. And when I say the things, I'm not speaking about the boat case at Mallory Beach. No, not that one. And I do understand that they've, hurt. He hurt so many people have suffered at the hands of that amoral, evil bastard. However, the man is never leaving prison. So do we need to have the taxpayers pay for his ass to fly from Maine to Spain and back for every single case? No, we don't. The feds need to make a deal with him for whatever the federal crimes are, whatever financial crimes are left at the state levels. Bundle that shit up and call it a day. Boone's Farm, yeah, I can see her being a Boone's Farm kind of girl. Any vintage that you can buy from 7-Eleven's alcoholic beverage aisle. Yes, although I'll tell you what, my 7-Eleven and even the Walgreens, believe it or not, they carry some I mean, it's not Ruth's Chris Steakhouse wine selection, but I mean, it's better than you would think. Yeah, I lost mother of one. How are you? Oh, you feel a drunk stream coming? Oh God. Somebody let me Wild Irish Rose. Ooh. Lost mother of one. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. And if you have been and I've just missed you, I apologize and welcome back. Oh, Sofa King, absolutely. Murdoch, he's God, he's gross. He is gross. What do you tell me who in the chat remembers? Just yes or no. Who remembers when Betty very proudly read one of her letters to her, one of her serial killer pen pals, as all rat type women do. Yes, who doesn't want a damn serial killer for a pen pal? And that would be Todd Colehep from Georgia. Yeah, Betty. Oh, and you know what? I think he had better English language, grammar, and punctuation skills than our girl Bets. Yeah. Yep. I often wonder about that. Although in her case, there's no man in the free world that wants her. So, well, except for Dolly, maybe. So I can definitely understand Betty needing to, her dating pool is about that big, and I can see where, they're not necessarily in the free world with the rest of us. So, yeah. Oh, Emmy, did you not know that? Oh, yes, girl. That predates you. Oh, yeah. Just Google it. Yes, Betty. Oh, just another in a long line of absurd and ill-advised live streams. Yes, she read the letter that Todd Colehep sent her. Yeah, because isn't that what all single white females like Betty, pun intended, isn't that what they do? Especially when you're such an internet sensation and you're YouTube famous. Yes. And you've got stalkers at every turn, in the bushes, looking in your windows while you're, oh God, making some abomination that you call meat that looked more like shoe leather, much worn shoe leather at that. Yeah, that's what all smart women do. They get involved with a damn serial killer. What's the problem? You do you, boo. Oh, Sophie King, he certainly did. She read it. She read it. And something tells me, unless she dirty deleted, and I'm trying to think when this, okay, so my goodness, I think, well, it was back in the days when I actually used to go into her coffee club. I wasn't like a regular, but my goodness, how far back was it? The best guess I can tell you is it was before she had really turned into a tragedy pimp, I think, like full force. She was maybe like a little bit of a diet tragedy pimp. But you look towards the beginning of her YouTube fame career. Yeah, she wrote Todd Colehep, and she read that letter like, you'd have thought she was friggin' Priscilla Presley back in the day when she and Elvis, were just pen pals. Yeah, back when Elvis was stationed in Germany, in the war. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, you'd have thought it was that level of, ooh, gross. Oh, Brittany, listen, and interestingly enough, I will tell you this. Oh, suffocating, yes, it was. She showed the envelope, because, in her mind, it was a flex. I will say this, but in my case, and no, don't worry, I'm not getting ready to tell you I played pen pals with a serial killer. But I will tell you this. I have played around with the idea of writing a book. And if any of you have, not to blow my own horn, but I'm going to blow my own horn because I need to, so that maybe if you've never been in a chat with me, or I don't make many community posts, but unlike Betty, I have writing skills. I could absolutely write a book. But I'm not interested in, but not like a fiction book. That's not what, if I were to do it, that's not where my, interest. I read fiction, but no. But I have, over the years, I have played around with the idea of writing a book, about a case that's, I mean, ideally it would be, well, I'll tell you two things I've played around with the idea. Hey, Sue, welcome and happy long weekend. Okay, so my first idea that I've tossed around, as far as writing a book, was there have been some cases from my area, and I'm talking where I grew up and lived, all of my life, except for the last, 12, 13 years. And even that's only an hour away. I am a native Floridian, born and raised, never left. So I actually thought about writing a book about YouTube too. That, of course, that would have to be, my goodness, we would have to change all the names to protect the guilty. Because let's face it, there are no innocents here. So the first idea was I kind of tossed around writing a book about an unsolved case from my area. And there have been some that you would know, you would recognize. However, if I did that, clearly it would, I would dox myself. And people like Betty and JLR and company, yeah, they just don't inspire me. It's not that I have anything to hide. I'll take any of them on right here on YouTube, but it's, we know what they do. So that kind of made me rethink that. I'm not saying, I'm never say never, but then I thought, okay, well, what about another case that is already done? It's gone through ideally it's been adjudicated through the court system, and the appeals are exhausted. That, or, very, very, very close to being exhausted. However, what stopped me, and there again, never say never. But what stopped me there was the fact that I would have to, you would quite naturally have to interact with the person you're going to write about. And typically that would, I guess now they can do email, but well, and you'd also do old school letter, I suppose. Yeah. Listen, my husband is incredibly understanding, and if I really wanted to do it, I don't. Yeah, Sophie King. That's where I was going with that. Even though I'm not a woman alone, I have a husband, and I'm not a dumbass who posts pictures of weapons on my community page, because that's a punk bitch move. It's also a real stupid person's move. I am none of those things, so I don't do that. But trust and believe, we're not sitting out here unprepared, we'll just say. And I have an alarm system that is monitored. It's not and it's through a company. It's not one of the kind of like the Ring doorbell kind of stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's an actual, like a major, like an ADT. But there is no matter how protected you think you are, it is dangerous. And then of course there's all the rest of your inner circle who are not looking to write a book, blah blah blah. So it's just, and at my age, I'm not looking to like start a new career, but I wouldn't mind having some kind of a long-term, let's call it a project, such as writing a book. And I could do it. But when you are a single woman who has the verbal and written language ability of an 8th or a 9th grader, you are widely despised on the internet. You're an ass clown who lives for, being inflammatory, being confrontational. She's a dick. She is a dick. It's just even more stupid to want to be pen pals with a serial killer. Oh, and did I mention, if she was thinking of doing some kind of like covert, oh well, I'm gonna try and get him, I'm gonna be like a undercover agent. I'll get him comfortable with me. I'll get him thinking that, oh, I'm hot, and maybe we'll have a prison marriage. Love after lockup, love during lockup. Hers, his, both, I don't know. Either one's possible. It's just really dumb. Hey, beer can, how you doing? And Lost Mother of One, I absolutely agree with you 1,000,000%. Her pew pew post was a threat to blank screen. I found that horrible, but consider the source. And I agree. And I don't think it was just for blank screen. I think that was, that was probably the inspiration for the immediate posting of that real stupid. And blank screen, I know you're not. I know you don't give a shit. And you're certainly not scared of that stupid bitch. But it just shows you how reckless she is. Because let me tell you something. if blank screen so much as slips in a mud puddle, don't you think they'd be talking to anyone who had, I mean, that's just how this goes. If blank screen, if anything, God forbid, unfortunate was to happen, and her dumbass is making, there isn't a truthful thinking person who doesn't know exactly what that post was all about. We saw it for exactly what it is. She's the only one who probably doesn't realize how dumb it was, because she's always the smartest one in the room. As long as the room is, the size of the junk drawer in your kitchen, and there's not, a four-legged animal or even a fish in the drawer with her, then yeah, she's the smartest one in the room. Oh, I do not think, and listen, just because that stupid bitch says she has a concealed carry, honey, I don't want to see your hunk of shit gun. Now, I don't know that because I'm not an armorer, and I'm not even an enthusiast. But people who are, most people said that thing is an absolute pile of shit. It's junk. But here's my thing. Your word means nothing. So post it, bitch. I want to see. Redact your personal information from it, like your address, even though your dumbass has given your address out more times than any of us could count, and pictures of you in front of your little shitbox house more times than any of us can count. But redact your personal deets and show us a picture of your concealed carry. I personally, I don't believe it. This bitch posts the food she shoves in her face while she's waiting to catch a Greyhound bus. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean a Southwest or a Spirit Airlines flight. And I love Southwest. Spirit, not so much. Oh, the word of the week. To Kelly, I did see your post that you left for me on, what was our word of the week? It was mount something. And yours was very good, by the way. But Blank Screen Bondsman, have you actually seen a copy of her CC? And let's face it, that shit can be, but you know what? I can absolutely put my hands on, I can fact check it against one I absolutely know with 100% certainty is the real deal concealed carry. So I want to see it because, listen, she's dumb as wood, but she's deceitful and criminally minded / clever enough to know, just like the FBI, why'd you mute the call? The whole call. Oh, I don't know. Could it be because you weren't actually talking to the FBI? You were talking to your mom or, your one friend on earth? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. She also knows, just like a lot of these dirtbags, they trust and believe they know which things they can lie with impunity because there's no way to fact check it, whether it's because of like HIPAA regulations or other other things that are not publicly available, so they can lie their asses off about it. So what I told her when she posted a picture of that hunk of shit, well, for someone who's such a firearms enthusiast, and has a concealed carry, well, I presume that you are a very proficient shot. Oh my goodness, I think you've told everyone as much. Well, bitch, is there anything you don't film your big ass doing? Not that I can think of, except the things that would, scar and traumatize all of us for life. Like, when you shower, use the facilities and whatnot. Those are the only things I can come up with that you don't live stream. So I want to see you at the range, hitting the target, center mass, in the vital organs every single time. I want to see it. I don't want to just see the target and a picture of it. I want to see her shooting it. And then I also want to see her concealed carry that I do not believe she has. I just don't. Oh, bees knees, welcome. And I agree. Yeah. Blank screen, I think, where did I hear it? That she had to call the Tampa field office of the FBI. I didn't think Sarasota had a field office, but I don't remember. Wherever I heard it, it was from someone credible that it would have, it was Hillsborough County, which encompasses Tampa. And I believe that it would probably be like there's a federal courthouse, I think it's a federal district court, or it might just be a circuit court. That is in Tampa. So it would probably be down around there somewhere. So I don't know. I don't believe it. But to me, if she will not produce that, at the very least, a redacted picture of the concealed carry, I'm calling bullshit. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Okay. Montblanc. That's right. Montblanc. I think that's how you pronounce that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Should we do a serious one? We're just going to touch on this real quickly. I heard about it on Queen Bee this morning. And that is the really, really tragic story. I don't even know what state it was. Oh, Oklahoma, I believe. A 12-year-old girl stabbed and killed her younger brother. I do not remember how old the brother was. And this was on Law and Crime, which is why I'm just gonna, you've probably heard about it. If not, please go look it up. I guess I could read a news article, but basically the story is just that. 12-year-old girl was at home with younger brother. I guess, he was 9. Oh God. This is honestly, y'all, it is one of the saddest things I have heard in a long time. It is so bad, just every which way but loose. It is so awful. But for the benefit of anyone in the chat that does not know about this story, in Oklahoma, a 12-year-old girl fatally stabbed her 9-year-old brother. I don't know if mom was working, or I don't know a lot of the details, but mom woke up in the night to the police outside the door, daughter hysterical, son, I believe he was hanging on by a thread when he was still at the house. He was transported to the hospital where okay, so mom was home and upstairs. All I know is that mom wakes up in the night to son hanging on by a thread, daughter outside of the front door, handcuffed, and, you know, obviously emergency personnel is called. The daughter's hysterical. She's crying. I'm so sorry. And the mother actually had to make the choice whether she was going to go to the hospital with the son or stay with the daughter. Obviously, the mother went with the son who died at the hospital. The sister was transported to a juvenile detention facility. The law enforcement officer that stayed with her, hats off to him. I tell you what, I know we've heard quite a few stories in the not so distant past of law enforcement, you know, listen, there's bad apples and everything. And I know we've had over the last several years, we've had some really tough, you know, police misconduct, egregious, everything from egregious to, you know, less severe on the spectrum. But this one, hats off to him. He couldn't have handled it any better. He was so calm and measured, while at the same time being compassionate with her. And when she's like, am I going to be able to go to school? Talked about she wanted to go back to math class because her math teacher, who had cancer, had just come back to school, and she was, you know, getting excited about math. It was just absolutely heartbreaking. And you know, of course, she said she was hysterical, and she said, I'm going to go to jail. And he said, you're not going to go to jail. And she said something about, well, juvie. And he said, well, that juvie and jail are not the same thing. Apparently in Oklahoma, no one under the age of 13 can be charged with murder. But my God. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard that she's already out of detention and back home. And I think I also heard that she had been doing some cutting, some self-harm. So I think obviously she's troubled. But my God, it is just so tragic, and there's no winners in this, no matter what. And I hope I'm wrong, but I think the reality of it is that little girl, let's put it this way. If this was an accident, which it was not from what I've heard, even if this was an accident and not at all intentional in any way, it would still be the weight of carrying a burden like that for the rest of your life. I can't even fathom. And we're talking about a girl who, I mean, you think about that, 12 years old. She's, you know, probably really got raging hormones. Blank screen, was she on psych meds at the time? I have so many mixed emotions about this. You know, I don't know how much this girl was left to care for the younger brother. I'm just going to tell you my opinion on that type of a situation, no matter who it is. The way I feel about it is, if you I understand, apparently this was a single mother. All right, hold on, let me just read this. Single mom with mental health issues. She would be left in charge of her 3 and 9-year-old brothers at 12 years old. I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. I have a problem if it had just been one child. I understand mom has got to work. Absolutely, I get it. But there is help and there are resources out there for, for situations like this. I am of the personal opinion that if you make the choice as an adult to have children, whether you are married when you have them, whether you're single when you have them, whether you're, currently married when you have them, there are too many people who have children that they cannot take care of, whether it be they're not emotionally equipped to take care of them, or they're not financially equipped to take care of them, or a combination of both. I do not think that, listen, we're not back on Little House on the Prairie days here, where I understand that through history, older children have had to really help raise younger siblings. I don't agree with that. That 12-year-old child did not make the choice to have a baby. So she should not be responsible for taking care of a younger sibling. Now, here's what I could deal with. I could deal with 12-year-old having to do more chores around the house to take some of that off of mom, because mom is working and the other child is with a babysitter, whatever the case may be. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with is putting the burden of and the sole responsibility for the care of a child to a child herself. And I heard people, giving their stories in Queen Bee's chat about when they were growing up. And listen, I'm 53 years old. I have a sibling. I was never, ever left with the responsibility. Well, let me walk that back a little bit. When I was old enough to babysit neighborhood kids for, a few hours on a Friday or Saturday night while mom and dad went to dinner or whatever, which was probably, I think I was in 8th grade when I started doing that. So let's see. So yeah, about 13 years old. But multiple kids? No. And never little tiny kids. When I was doing that, I could do that at home if my parents, because my parents went out every weekend without fail, but we always had a babysitter. And it wasn't all nighters. We're talking several hours. Dinner and, either out with friends or a movie or, dancing, whatever. But no all nighters, nothing like that. No way. So yes, I babysat my brother periodically, but he was only a few years younger than me. So I understand that back in olden days, it was very common for, the older sibling to be left to care for some of the younger ones. But we're not in those times anymore. And I just don't think it should ever happen. People need to stop having more children than you can afford to properly care for. And I'm not just speaking to that mother. I'm truly not. I have nothing but compassion for that woman. I'm speaking in general here. And of course it applies to that situation as well. Hindsight's 2020. That woman is going to punish herself for the rest of her life. I am not trying to do that. I'm just simply stating that I don't know. I don't understand. We have a country full of people who don't work. They're living on freaking welfare in the system for whatever reason, whether they're disabled or they can't listen. And I'm going to try and really tighten my statements up and keep it very specific to a very specific set of circumstances. I don't think it is rocket science, nor is it unreasonable or unkind to say that no one should be having children in excess of the number that they can take care of. And I don't just mean, oh, well, I'm good now. I've got a great job. Okay, well, what if you lose your job? Hey, Stella Bella. Hi, Kathy P. What if you lose your job? It happens all the time. I mean, this is the most important thing in the world. Being charged with the responsibility of the care of another human being. So people need to stop having more children than they can afford to care for should the worst happen. Meaning you become, disabled or you lose your employment for whatever reason. Hey, Heels. So you see it all over, all the time. People who can't fucking take care of themselves, but they're having kids. What is that about? I'm of the opinion that the welfare system, well, I think it should be reformed, and I think that the qualifications should be much stricter and dialed in. We got a lot of people abusing the system, but that's not, it does no good in this situation. And I'm not, those comments are not directed at this poor woman in this unthinkable situation. But that little girl, I truly do not, I can't even begin to come up with. I mean, so we've got this is what this child is going to carry for the rest of her life. She was already apparently troubled. So we're starting off at a disadvantage. She has killed her sibling. And it was intentional. Now, I don't think when I say that, I do not think for 1 minute that she said, "Oh, I'm going to try and kill him." No, but you know, she obviously stabbed him. I don't know how many times. I don't know any of that. So, she's troubled. She's killed her sibling. I don't even know where you begin as a mother to deal with that. Of course, the mother is going to be angry. She's going to be devastated. I mean, everything that goes along with that. And do you think that that resentment and the anger, which is all going to be the mother's going to blame herself, she's going to blame the kid, she's going to have every negative emotion that runs the gamut. How could she not? And do you think that's all just going to change because this girl gets older? No. Then there's the father of her brother. I don't know if it's the same as hers. And then the girl is going to mature and grow up. And she's got this unthinkable burden that she's going to carry. And then there's going to be, I'm sure she's going to have anger at her mother and her father as she grows up. Like, why did you put me in this position? Why did you put your responsibility onto me? I mean, school? You think she's ever going to be able to go to school and not have this be a bit? I'd be surprised if she could ever go to a traditional school again, unless they move the hell out of the area. And even then, with internet and technology, this is going to follow her. It's just, there's just no winners here. It's just so sad. It really is. It's, yeah, blank screen. I agree. She's not equipped now. And I don't think maturity is going to bring any clarity. I think she is going to have, I think she's got a family that is going to be forever fractured and just shattered. And think about it, not just mom and dad. How about grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins? I mean, oh my God. Good for you, Amethyst Moon. It can be done. Absolutely, it can. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna, I need to just check this message. Okay, hold on 1 minute. I'm gonna, put it, I'll put the link in the chat. Heels. Sofa King, I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I heard that that she was that she was out already. Hey,
Hey, I am so sorry. It's
Oh,
a long story.
it's all right. Oh, trust me, I've just been going, down my little list here, crossing stuff off. Um,
Oh,
we talked about. I was just talking a little bit about the 12-year-old, the
oh
the.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was terrible.
Oh God, it kind of brought the mood right on down. Yeah, we were laughing, having a good old time at Betty's expense earlier.
At what?
At Betty's expense, just talking
Oh,
about
I
old
missed it.
bets.
Ugh. Yeah, I have one tiny fly in my house, one tiny fly. And so I was trying to get rid of it like 2 hours ago with no success. So I reached behind me and went and reached a certain way, and my shoulder started hurting. So I have these muscle relaxers, and I thought, well, I'll take one of those. Fell asleep. No,
Oh yeah, they'll do
so
that.
sorry.
Oh no, trust me,
Well,
no worries. We were we were just talking about old Betty and JLR parting ways.
oh, did something happen?
I
Did
don't know. I was hoping you might know.
no? I was reading JLR's lawsuit on Uni earlier, and
Oh,
he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't answered it yet.
well, that's real stupid. What does he have?
Well,
10 days, 20 days?
think he had. Well, he has to be served, and I don't know that he's accepted service yet.
Uni?
Yeah, he's on. He's talking last night. Still talking about being doxxed, and we don't believe he was doxxed, and like 2 hours of it. So
But he hasn't been served with the
I
lawsuit?
don't. Yeah, I don't think he has, or he's not. I don't see it on the site, the court site.
Huh, that's interesting. I'm trying
Yeah,
to think. I want to say,
I think he has 20 days after.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that sounded about right. Yeah, oh God, he's another one losing his shit. Um, oh, I know what I wanted to just touch on briefly because I heard it was being discussed earlier in the week. Summer's Day.
Yeah,
What is what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's
I mean, I think it's okay. I don't have the date bothers me, but as far as having a day to remember her, Dolly's going to do a barbecue picnic outside. Music. I don't know about dancing. That's what he's going to do, and he's going to kind of copy Adrian, which is Gavel Geeks is Jenny, and then CRAMA Mama is Adrian. They're going to put one on, and another woman, a local, whose name is Nana, I think. But they're going to put out like an application. They're going to teach how to use this application for your kids and its safety, and they're going to give door prizes and different events and activities for the kids. It's the last day of summer, I think, or is it the first day of summer and the end of school? I'm
okay?
fine with it. I just think the day that she went missing is kind of, odd if they would do it on a different day. But Brandy Neal, who is Monkey Vaughn's mother, she thinks it's fine.
I did
Her only, yeah, and she's the same with the date. She said if the family's okay with it, and they are for the one with Adrian and Jenny, but I don't know about Dolly's.
oh, I
He's
think
live streaming it. He'll be,
he's
he'll get
just
members, he'll get subs. I don't know about.
well. And when I heard him say that bullshit about what Jones had emailed him to thank him for all he does for Summer Wells. Like, bitch, you've never done
What?
anything for Summer Wells. You've only exploited that child and lined your pockets doing it.
Jones and emailed him that?
Well, that's what he says.
Oh,
She said today that she not quite. She wasn't singing the same song that he is. She did say that she had emailed him something about Summer and that, you know, she could support if he wasn't, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but basically, if he wasn't tragedy pimping. What the hell else does he do? That's all he does. Give me a fucking break. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has never put out a flyer that doesn't have his YouTube channel on it. I mean, that is the tackiest damn thing.
Yeah, and on the back of his RV, he was deciding where to put Dolly Vision, like on the side and the back. Where do we put it? His command center. And I'm thinking you could actually put missing children on it. Like you could have some way to have a scrolling missing children.
Yeah, I think those missing kids, I mean, since they already bought him a vehicle, maybe he should send him the bill for like AAA since his dumbass doesn't know how to change a tire. What kind of a man
I know.
how to change a tire?
Neither did JLR. He was in the middle of nowhere and waited hours. I think he said it didn't have a spare, but it was a rental car. So I'm thinking it probably did.
Oh, yes, it did.
Yeah. So,
Give me a break.
but that was his way of getting out of paying that rental, I'm sure.
So here's a better question about this is what like fascinates me with Summer, or with any kids, but I mean, Summer's who we're talking about. So, and I kind of feel like I don't think there's anything wrong per se with, I think the way I put it the other day was, I believe that 5 to 10% of the people involved in all the various things that are going to be done. Hey, Queen Bee. I think
Queen Bee in here?
Yep. She just
came. All right.
I think 5 to 10% of those people have the best of intentions and the purest of heart. However, the other 90%, no, not so much. And
yeah, they're too invested in a way that's not about Summer. A lot of them,
and
the majority.
That was what my next question or observation is. I do not, all the years that I've been following true crime, since I was in middle school, everything from, you know, the days when there were only books all the way up to present day where you can actually interact with in real time with the people who are involved in these cases, some in whatever form.
Right.
And I have never been compelled to want to, I don't understand. I understand that people get emotionally invested for different reasons. But some of these people are batshit crazy, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, I don't get it. How can you, like, there's all kinds of emotions that I can totally understand. Even though I may not, I mean, because for me, I want her to be found, no matter how that may be. I want her case to be resolved, and I want whoever was involved in it punished to the furthest extent of the law. And right. I don't want them to ever give up until that happens.
Right.
But I do not love Summer Wells. I don't love people that I don't know. And I don't understand people who, I mean, I know for some people, they just, it's just a word that they throw out there. I mean, that's a big thing on YouTube anyway. You always hear people, oh, I love you. Love you, girl. I mean, I'm just not somebody who throws around the word love. Not with people on the internet that you don't know. I just think that word is thrown around very casually and too much. But that's me. So I just don't do it. I don't, if other people want to do it, fine. I don't care. But what I don't get is people who, I mean, some people think that because in their opinion, the parents don't care, or they don't show that they care in the way that they identify with. And well, the parents don't care, so we have to do it. I just don't. And I mean, obviously there's everything in between, all the way to the very top of, to me, the ones that are batshit crazy, that think this is their child. And it is not. This child does not belong to any of us. We don't have any say in anything that is done or not done. I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's me. I mean, I'm not saying.
No, it's too much. They don't love Summer. I mean, like Quentin Simon, there are certain cases where the kids just really get in my heart, and he did. I mean, like, it was awful. But you're right. I mean, you want the child to be found.
Yeah. Would you drive or fly to go attend well, everybody calls their event something?
No, I wouldn't go to their event. No, because I don't think it's about Summer. I don't think they even think it's about Summer. I think the parents do care, but unfortunately, if they had done something, especially Don, I think he would just go away. Like, he wouldn't keep going on to these panels, but in his mind, one of these times he's going to go on there and they're going to stop triggering him. Or maybe he needs to stop getting drunk late at night and going on there. But he's going on there thinking he wants to talk about, finding her, but there's always somebody in chat, or there's always Josh that wants to say, did you have sex with your sister? Which has nothing to do whatsoever. So he goes on the defensive, and it's just a cluster after that.
Like, I don't get it. Why? Like, you would think after so many times he's been burned, it never works out. It just never works out. Whether he's drunk or sober, it doesn't matter. It never works well.
Because he keeps going back to the same damn people.
And all they do is use him. That is all they do.
Yeah. Maybe in his mind, I mean, all I know is what he says, that, like, he'll talk to Josh or he'll talk to Doug on the phone, and they say, yeah, buddy, we're going to, the way we did it before, we can't do it that way anymore. And then the same shit goes on. Yeah, I don't know why he keeps going on and getting burned.
Interesting. Do you think that Josh or Doug or Prayer Garden, although she couldn't go because she'd have to wear like a paper bag on her head, like, the Unknown comic from back in the day. But why can't Josh or Doug go? Why can't they get on a plane and go to one of these events, since their whole fucking life and channel is it's just, how are you a grown man and every day of your life, well, or at least 4 to 5 days of every week, you're just talking about this child, and God knows how much money you've made off of this child? Well, in this case, since you've made all this money and your entire channel is nothing but, for the most part, summer
speculation.
why aren't they getting on a plane and going to one of these events? Because my goodness,
Why aren't they contributing to a search? What all this? What's it been? Almost 2 years? Had they had search parties because they make enough money? He needs to go to a place like Web Sleuth, where she has a lot of resources. Duty Ron has a lot, but he's kind of ruined it by getting drunk and saying the N-word, and
yeah,
that's too bad.
I just wish they, my God, just stop with all of it. And it's like, I think what I would ask Dawn and Candace too, I think I would ask them, listen, y'all, and to all the YouTubers, I'd ask this question too. If law enforcement cannot figure this out,
yeah, we're not going to.
Hell makes anyone think the YouTubers are going to figure it out? Now, that is not to take away from the ones who, put out missing. I'm not talking about people who put out the flyers, people who.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. Prayer Garden. No thanks. Josh and Chris.
Just all of them. Like,
because all they're doing is retelling rumors and speculation. TBI said it's likely she wandered off. There's no evidence of abduction. There's no evidence of foul play. What is the other one? There's no evidence of. I think there was another one. No, trafficking would be abduction. Would be an abduction.
I mean, how in the hell does anyone think that if you are not privy to the case file, well, how in the world? Because if anybody thinks that law enforcement is giving all the details, of course they're not.
No, and they could have a suspect, and you wouldn't know it until an arrest. They're not going to put out there, we're looking. I've seen that happen before. And the other thing is with the trafficking thing, when they put out a reward that's like, I think it was 100,000, right, for the first one for summer.
Oh, okay.
Well, if usually a reward like that, if there are traffickers, somebody else knows, and a lot of times they'll give tips, like somebody that knew about it or participated in it or just had knowledge. A lot of times they'll come forward, and nobody came forward. I mean, that 100,000 did no good whatsoever.
Oh, headstones and headlines comment. Can you see it? You should have heard.
I have to go back over there. Hold on.
Today.
Let me see.
Let me tell you, that case with that 12-year-old, I thought to myself today, that is so sad and tragic. And I swear to you, the next thought was, if that twisted bitch Betty starts going
what did she talk about it?
If she starts going off about that case, I will unleash on that bitch like I have never done before.
Can we look? Can we do a reaction to it?
That'll be an R. That'll be a double R rated. Oh, trust me. Yes. If she has if she starts shooting her mouth off, like she said,
well, she apparently already has.
About that case. Oh,
that's what headlines. I mean, Headstones and headline says.
Oh, I thought she was. I think she's talking about the Summer Wells. She said Summer Wells.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Well, yeah, she's always spit venom.
I don't know. I haven't heard that she has, plans to talk about it, but let's face it, she needs something to talk about, and she'll, Betty's full of wisdom about other people's kids and, being.
Oh, I'm sure she'd be judgmental.
Unfortunately barren like she is, thank God.
Thank God.
But it's always ones like her that want to tell all the parents of the world what they're doing wrong. So
right. Yeah, she's always been horrible towards those parents, even before she knew anything. When she first came on the case, her and JLR both had their mind made up Now, when Dolly met with, I will tell you, when Dolly met with Don, and he said he had seen the house, he had seen videos of Don searching, he had seen family photos that they stopped putting out because everybody was taking the photos and changing them and saying she had bruises and all that crap. When he did that and, kind of talked to, well, I did email him and I said, don't FUCK them if you're going to do this. Don't be doing this because, for any other reason that you're going to help them. They've had plenty of people do that already. And I did write that to him. And then it was like the command center and the truck and a new camera and, whatever. All that was to go back to Tennessee. Just go back to Tennessee.
Emmy, that would be great if you would email the timestamps. We can talk about it tomorrow.
What?
Oh, Emmy's going to mail the timestamps of Betty this morning about the Summerwells case.
Hey, nonsense.
I cannot imagine what I just wish so much that Don and Candace would. I don't even know if this can be done, but I know how I would feel if all these ass clowns out here on the internet had my daughter's picture, her image and likeness that they've just taken for their own and are just slapping it all over whatever the hell they feel like. Look at that disgusting, amoral piece of shit, Prayer Garden of America, and how she takes all these poor, mainly Summer, but I noticed she's got Quentin's and another little boy, I can't remember his name, but
Monkey.
Her dumbass memes. Oh, it's so gross. It's just
weird.
It's weird as hell.
And that's Summer's channel.
Yeah, like I said, Summer wants right here, bitch. Summer wants her paycheck.
Yeah, nobody gives back. Gray Hughes is the only one I see that gives back to different charities. He's the only one. Just something.
Yeah, and he's not. Isn't that interesting? And he's not.
Drama.
He's also not exploiting any of these cases for his own personal gain.
Nope. No, he does all different cases.
I just truly, I can't imagine having these dirtbags just thinking that my child's image is theirs to do whatever they want to with. I mean, and I don't know, how does that work? I'm assuming.
Well, I think they want her face and name to continue to be out there. And I think they're not considering, because they're not the smartest. And I love you to death, people, but they're not the brightest, and they're not looking ahead. Like, what are the boys going to see? What are their wives going to see? What are their kids going to see?
Listen, they've never lived. It's obvious they've never lived their life thinking ahead. I mean,
ahead, no,
it's very clear. But
no, but he did want to sue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Who does he want to sue?
Oh, Don was talking about suing JLR because he was going to his son's house. But see, I don't think it's like they do watch what's going on. I don't think he watches JLR that much because that is like the least of the things JLR's done to him. But I don't know how I would feel if I had a missing child. Maybe he feels like he wants them to stop being ugly to him.
Don, that will never happen.
No, it's never going to happen. No. Being nice to him would not make them money.
Don, Candace, Prayer Garden, and the farm bitch and her fat ass sister, all those losers, okay? Losers.
Critters.
Shit. How big their YouTube channels are, I don't give a damn. They are grifters.
But look at who they...
The same idiots are in those chats every single night, okay?
Right.
they're not bringing awareness to anything except their bank balance. That's all they're doing. And it's
No,
like,
yeah, you're right.
they need to try. If they insist on staying on this platform, I'm begging you, Don and Candace, try something you have yet to try. You have ridden this ride with all these tragedy pimp channels since this terrible thing happened. Try what you haven't tried yet.
Walk across the street.
Your daughter. Do it for
Yeah.
your daughter. Stay, Don, Candace, both of you, stay sober for a half hour, an hour, whatever you can commit to, and do it for your daughter.
And your sons.
If anybody wants Don and Candace to come on their channel and they will not turn off their monetization or only run Don and Candace's CatchUp, because I'm sorry, I'm to the point where I don't give a shit what they do with the money. I'd rather they have it and piss it away than these assholes have it. I mean, that's just how I feel at this point. It's nobody should be making the kind of money these people are making off the back of that child.
Yeah.
Why is that any more palatable than Don and Candace having the money? It's their daughter.
Well, or if they come up with evidence that nobody else had, or they get an interview that no one else could get, or if it's a one-off, then yeah, they're working to make that money. I mean, that's what they do. That's what the news does. But the news doesn't hammer away at the exact same story day after, without any kind of evidence.
Night after night.
Yeah.
And at least they have some, they're bound by, at least
ethics.
Theoretically, yes, a code of ethics. They're covered under an insurance policy through the affiliates. It's like, it's not the Wild West. You're not going to get ambushed. Not like these people do.
I guarantee you, if JLR actually worked for a big company like he says he does, more people would sue him because of that, the insurance and, but he's got nothing really.
I took a poll earlier that the question was, if you had to pick upon penalty of death, like you must choose one or we're going to execute you. Who are you going to go to dinner with? JLR or Betty? And
JLR.
Yes, and I will tell you that was the resounding vote. In fact, I didn't see one person say Betty.
No, it's entertaining to watch JLR eat, number one. Number two, he doesn't really say much. Everybody that's met him said he's very quiet and to himself.
Smarter than Betty.
Huh?
He's a lot smarter than Betty.
Oh, yeah, he's smarter than Betty.
By a million miles.
But she would be interesting. I would probably.
You think Betty would be interesting?
Yeah, I might go to dinner just because she does fascinate me.
Oh, no, there's nothing about
her.
No,
she does.
Fascinates me.
But dinner would be it.
What fascinates me is how can you be a woman and care so little about and be.
I don't mean fascinating in a good way. I'm just saying
it's
someone that thinks that they really are. Cappy on Queen Bee. She's on Queen Bee's fan a lot. She said the perfect thing is that JLR, Molly, Dolly, Justin, all of those people know this is a ruse, right? That they're just making money and saying shit to make the money, whatever they need to do. Betty, she thinks it's real. She thinks she's a real sleuth, a real investigator, a reporter, and all of this she's world famous. And I think that's exactly right. She doesn't realize that it's a joke.
Hey, hippie, Rowena, Boston.
She's not doing bad at the legal stuff.
Nikki. We
when I'm watching. Go ahead.
my opinion was I picked JLR for, all the reasons just mentioned. And this, I said, well, at least with JLR, you're probably not going to have to worry about getting involved in a beatdown in the parking lot because
Yeah.
Betty has bitched about everything from the minute her foot, opened the door to the point where they're putting ground up glass in her meal back in the kitchen until she leaves. Yeah. And you probably
Did
have to
she
fight
say
your way
that?
out of the parking lot. No, I said that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
with a few other things.
Well, I mean, but even that's it too. When she says,
Prime News,
"I'm suing everybody because she thinks she's real," it's real.
yeah.
I'm going to sue you because
Her
you
own
don't believe me.
awakening. Yeah. No, there's no. The only thing real is that real fucked up hair. That hair, that all four strands. Oh, that's just humidity, though. Yeah.
They were trying to get away in her car. I
Um.
also want to know what JLR wears on his arms.
Oh. I heard you asking about that the other night. I think those are. It's like a compression garment and like arm tights. But not the Spanx kind. I think I think they are for you
like
never know.
dogs would.
He might need. I heard you say you thought it was for sun protection, which that could be.
No, I didn't say that.
Somebody said that.
Yeah,
I
somebody
would
else.
think that
Those jackets they put on dogs to make them feel comfortable, like
a thunder jacket. You think
thunder jacket. Maybe there's thunder sleeves.
jacket? They're soothing.
Yeah, yeah,
They're like self-soothing. They make him
yeah.
feel all cozy.
They're like psycho thunder jackets.
Oh God.
He
Yeah.
wears them all the time.
So it could be, or I mean, it really legit could be that he's got some kind of but I don't think you have circulation issues in your arms usually. That would be more. Now, if he starts wearing them on his legs, then.
Well, he wears tights all the time. Not tights, whatever they call them, on his legs.
I've seen those with shorts on, basketball shorts on top.
Yeah. With basketball shorts.
He's still better dressed than Betty. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's consistent.
Yes, that he is. Let's see.
So then,
what?
Dolly or Molly to go to dinner? Dolly or Molly?
Oh Jesus. Well, now I'm gonna have to. Oh God, this is hard. Because
Death penalty.
Either one, you could throw a right hook at you if you make them mad. So, well, only the women need to worry about that with Dolly, not the men.
With Dolly, right?
Yeah, so Molly will eat all the food in the restaurant. There won't be enough left for me. So, it's like it comes down to oh God, this is tough for me. I'm gonna have to pick Molly, I think. I can't abide him. No. He's got way too many. He's too problematic for me. Not that she isn't, but he's really no. No.
I'd have to pick Molly too.
I'd spit on him or something. I wouldn't like. No,
he'd be coming on to you and being.
He's the
icky.
president. He's the president of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. He's no. Me and Dolly would no. I don't speak dumb. I don't speak crayon. He and I would have to draw pictures, and I suck at drawing. No.
How does he get so many women that are just? Well, I mean, you'd have to consider.
The only
some
thing
of the women I like.
The only thing I can figure is, but this is all predicated on. You'd have
what
to
we know
nothing about him. You would have to have no backstory.
Exactly.
And it could,
Exactly.
and then in that case, it would only be, he can be much
Funny.
like Molly. He can be self-deprecating, which is funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he can be in the old school, like morning zoo, top 40 radio station,
Yeah.
funny, or entertaining. He can do that for periods of time. But
Yeah.
other than that, I could not tell you because I do not give a damn what he's working with. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's just nothing attractive about him. And Dolly, my God, could you get yourself some like designer shades maybe? Because my goodness, now I might have just solved one of my own mysteries as I saw him, staring up to the ring light in the sky. Well, he's got his green screen of, high tech Fox News studio behind him. And I'm looking at him going, why are you wearing those cheap ass sunglasses that look like they came from the damn 7-Eleven accessories aisle? And then I thought, maybe Betty left them in his
Uh-huh.
car.
Well, he did find some on the beach.
Oh, I know that I could believe. I mean, at first I was like, damn, those look like my grandma's, like when you have cataract surgery and they give you those,
That's great big glasses.
yeah. And then I was like, no, because those aren't usually square. They reminded me of Betty. Yeah. Beer Can says Dolly needs a dentist. Well, so does Betty.
Well, yeah. I mean, Betty's are better than Dolly's, but JLR's used to be. He's so proud of them now. He smiles all the time, but his teeth were
Well,
bad.
did he
Bad.
get new ones in prison?
He did a bit. He did that Invisalign, and he whitened them.
In the free world. Okay. I was going to say, you want to see me shoot through my roof like a rocket if you tell me they're giving out Invisalign in prison?
No, he's just recently done it.
I have a girlfriend who's her son wears them, and I think, and his teeth were not even. I mean, he's just rather vain, and he just had one little thing he didn't like. It wasn't like, meth mouth or anything. And I believe she told me that it was either 6 or 8 grand.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
I didn't know they were that expensive.
And it's a big time commitment. And he goes, I think, once a month to have new ones done. Oh, geez.
Wow.
I see Nick has put a comment and says, we do an F, marry, kill. Oh, God. Oh, now that would be fun. We need to do that, but we need to do it with more, we got to plan.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down right now.
That's a good idea. Hey, Nick.
Great idea. F, marry, kill. Okay, I wrote that down. We will definitely be revisiting that.
I agree, Phil.
The only other thing I want to talk about until we meet again. Are you around the rest of the weekend?
Pretty much.
Okay, well, I'm getting timestamps for Betty's brilliance this morning about Summer's case. So we could do that tomorrow.
Good.
The only other thing I want to talk about, because I'm reaching the limit of my sitting, because I've been on. Well,
yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I was doing my comedy routine.
Oh, I have to rewatch.
Hey, I had some pretty. If I say so myself, there were some pretty good singers in there. But that is this. And maybe I should find the video for tomorrow. But just okay, so here's your homework.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll find a video and I'll send it to you because there's one in particular that I want to pull up, and I think it was new from today, so I wouldn't have done it today. But I don't think it would be a problem to do it tomorrow, and it's a short clip. And that would be about the other MGL. Michelle
No,
goes.
no.
Here's the question. Well, apparently she was so sorry, and she was crying, and she's mentally ill. She's got, big shocker. She's got everything that has a D in it in the world, seemingly. She's got,
Oh my God.
wait, what did she say? BPD. What's the other one?
Probably the triad, but I forget what all those are.
Triad. I wish never mind. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something real not nice. So she wanted to, she's sorry for the 927th time. And, I think it usually lasts like a day from what I gather before she's, rabid again.
Yeah.
Rabies shot. But
BBC.
It brings about the bigger thought, because I believe there's very many people on here that are mentally ill, of, different degrees. But do you think that someone who has said, and this is what it is it's just a short compilation. Oh, nonsense. Well, our pleasure. Hope you got the kitchen back together. Hey, Tuesday. Do you think someone who, here's the latest thing I've heard. Now they've been talking about this quite a bit, for the last several days in the, I guess the drama community. And apparently someone on here, I had not heard of this creator before, but apparently Michelle was blamed. I've heard chatter that they don't necessarily think it was her. It's another very problematic creator on here. Let's just say it's one who's, well, my goodness, she needs rent money a lot, and she needs like utility money, and she's got a very unfortunate hairdo from I think about 1987. Yeah.
Has a streak in it.
Yeah. But what happened was there's a creator who had her young daughter, I think she's 19. Well, apparently a man showed up at her work, because he perhaps saw an ad.
Oh yeah.
On one of these places that disgusting people put ads like that. And, maybe a scenario, like a role-playing scenario that some people like to partake in.
Right.
Yeah. And
like S&M.
Maybe kind of like people who are deceitful. Well, there are certain things that they know cannot be proven, like, HIPAA and things of that nature. So people who lie, because they're lying liars who lie about things that they know cannot be proven lies. So, maybe whoever did do this, well, they knew that trying to, much like Uni thought he could lie about or exaggerate claims about JLR because many people have no use for him. And he thought no one would care if he...
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of a thing. Like perhaps this other person, if this was another person, well, they know that she's very much despised by all probably normal thinking people because she is a filthy, foul-mouthed skank. She makes Betty look like she's gone to charm school. I mean, this bitch is gross. She is foul. She is ugly in every way possible. She's hateful. She's vindictive. I've never heard a woman, honest to God, and I've known some. I've never heard a woman speak like this on no, at all, but on a public platform where you know people hate your ass and they're recording it. I mean, I'm not even going to repeat it. It's so disgusting. So my question is, does it matter that the bitch is riddled with psychiatric issues by her own admission? I mean, that's not me.
Are we back to Michelle?
Yeah, she said.
Is that who you've been talking to?
Well, yes, but as she's the one who's being blamed for.
Oh, for that happening to the other one.
Yes. But,
okay.
But yes, I did mean her when I said she's got the foulest mouth. She's just filthy. She's just sickening. Revival.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody has a doubt that she's mentally unwell.
But
and people push her too.
Do you care? Because I don't give a shit.
I did right at first when she very first came on with Molly. I did feel bad for her, but then she went batshit crazy shortly after that, and everybody abandoned her because
I will say I do absolutely. My heart goes out to her for the fact that she did lose a child, and that I would never in a million years would I ever. No normal person would ever throw that in someone's face. Never. I don't care what she said. So I would never comment on that. But I mean, she has told people that she hopes their children get ARD. I mean, she's a low down, dirty.
Oh yeah. She'll say anything.
She's demonic, in my opinion. But I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I really don't watch her anymore.
Yeah, I don't care if she's crazy, if she's ill, whatever her problem is. Who isn't? That doesn't, just because you're suffering with, I think she said bipolar and borderline personality disorder. She's manipulative as hell. I mean, you can just watch her. What always is so interesting about these kinds of people to me is when it suits them, you can't hold this against them because I've got XYZ.
Yeah, I know.
But my God, they can find a way to live stream, in a hailstorm, holding a wire hanger. I mean, they're very adept.
Yeah.
All kinds of activities except sanity, apparently. I don't know. I don't think she's, I mean, and some of that I'm saying tongue in cheek, but
the wire hanger was good though.
But to me, there's just a point where I'm sorry. No, you're not. No, you can't blame this on your condition because they make medication for that. And it's not called Tito's. Just because you've got a condition, I mean, you can still be evil and mean at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. Not in my mind.
Yeah, Nonsense says she's involved with people and has had many mods. Yeah, I've heard about her mods. I don't watch her. I mean, when Jenny Jen plays it, I can't understand what she's saying because Jenny always plays it in double or whatever.
You have to. And let me tell you something. Michelle, Sweet Pea, Eddie Munster called. He wants that hairline back. Girl, between that widow's peak And when I looked at her today, and she's all filtered up, and I thought, my God, she could be an Elvis impersonator if this YouTube thing doesn't work out. Because she, honest to God, I was looking at her and I was like, oh my goodness, she's like a little Elvis with a
Elvis was pretty.
with a widow's peak. He was well.
Oh yeah, when he was younger.
I'm thinking, think bloated days, not
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of. But he was very pretty when he was young.
Yeah, no, we're not talking young. We're talking,
Old and bloated.
right before he started reading that book in the bathroom days. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. And it was so weird because I'm like, why am I getting Elvis Presley when I look at her crossed? If Elvis Presley and Eddie Munster had a love child, I mean, I've never seen a woman with a widow's peak like that.
Well, I don't, I just don't pay attention to her. Like I said, I did it first, but then when she started losing it, I mean, it was just too much.
I hear it on the clips. You should have heard what she was saying to the guy that her friend.
Skip,
yeah.
Ski mask.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Oh, it was.
Yuck.
Goodness, she was very descriptive, and
oh no.
Yeah, he yeah.
Well, he's made fun of her child before.
Like, what does he want with some nasty old hag like her?
Who would want him?
Well,
I don't think he's any better.
Well, shit, apparently there's quite a few women that are enamored with him. I mean, I don't know any of them except her,
and they're probably like her.
What they look like, but yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I would think he could do better than her. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the attraction is.
Something about is it something about a second chance? And I'm like, a second chance? From what I understand, she's like second with 22 exponents is.
She wants a second chance from YouTube.
I guess what? From all the people that she's
oh yeah no
and said horrible things about and
no.
And she's much like Ernie Shell. She's announced her exit from the building for the 497th time last week. She's going to Facebook. I'm sure they'll
go to Facebook.
Yeah, please, by all means.
Yeah.
I don't do Facebook, so
a lot of people need to go to Facebook, back to Facebook.
And Kick too. Kick is the new YouTube,
Yeah, it's like nobody watches any of them that have gone over there. Even Molly, I think she had 200. Maybe she had 1,000. Last I looked, subs.
Do you think Oh, okay. I thought you meant in chat. I was going to say, well, do the chat numbers work like the monetary conversion?
I have no idea how the money works.
It's not a 1-for-1.
Yeah. No. Well, they get something like 95% of the people that join or sub, or I don't know how it's worded. And then I don't know if she can put her PayPal, Cash App. Because I always see her show I've seen it live one time. And then if you catch it right before she deletes it, which I was doing the other day and she deleted it, I don't really pay attention to what she has on there.
I had to laugh. The other day I saw her on one of I think it was Tragic Tea. She was wearing her latex /
oh, I know,
hoodie, or her like on a skinny girl it's your Lululemon.
Workout jacket.
On her it's your patent leather casing. And I'm sitting there, honest to God, she's sitting there in her casing with her Tom Ford hat that I guarantee you that hat was was a gift with purchase because she held up her Tom Ford perfume. You know what's so interesting that I asked somebody the other day? You know, for somebody who loves high-end designers so much, I've never seen her wear anything that doesn't look like J. Crew, Banana Republic, Ann
Yeah.
Taylor. And I said, yeah, those designers, they don't typically design with the client with a physique such as hers and mine. They're more identify with sample sizing. And
Well, she stuffs herself into that workout jacket. I mean,
that's going to start shredding like Betty's pleather couch. You know, like when that man-made cheap fake materials gets a little too taxed.
crispy. Yeah.
It'll start getting hair like it.
Yeah.
It starts to shred. But yeah, I saw her sitting there in her slip and slide with a zipper. That's what it looked like. It looked like she was wearing a slip and slide with a zipper and two sleeves. And I still can't get over that anybody would pay to have their boobs look like that. Like most people get implants to not look like that. And that is so weird to me.
To get a reduction.
And it must have been Mother's Day because she went on and on about, it's just the thirst that is one of the thirstiest bitches I've ever seen. I've never, well, I take that back. I do know somebody else that's thirsty like that drops a lot of names. Not of clothing though, because that's not her jam, but she does it in other ways. But she also, interestingly enough, is wildly insecure, and that's where her validation comes from, just like Molly's.
Just like that.
That's why when somebody says, "What'd you get for Mother's Day?" Like a normal person says, "Oh, it was so sweet. You know, so-and-so got me a bottle of perfume." "Oh, what kind?" "Oh, Tom Ford." Or, "Oh, I got a nice, set of earrings." Not, "Oh, well, I so-and-so always told me he wanted me to have Tiffany diamond studs." Bitch, those probably came from fucking Costco. I mean, she's another one. I'm sorry. Once you
the Swarovski earrings,
rent rooms in your house, you are removed from the baller list, and you are not just, we don't just use one of these. No. We use a black Sharpie. Unfortunately, all mine are in the other room. But yeah, there's no ballers that share their living space with.
And then she says on her live that House of William, why her name? I've got it blocked so bad. But she said, what's her name? Mallory.
PayPal Mallory.
Yeah, that name I have a block. But anyway, she said Mallory sent a morbidly obese woman to rent my room. Now, what if they're watching you when you say this? And how did she manage to rent another room after the last one?
Well, and my goodness, Molly, you better be careful fat shaming people, girl, because, to me, you are morbidly obese. Well, I shouldn't say morbidly obese, but at least part of that you got on lock, girl. Your left tit weighs more than my entire body. All relative, baby girl. I tell you this all the time. It's all relative. So,
And she's small. She's like 5 foot, I think.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, you mean vertical, not horizontal.
Yeah. Right. So I think those are going to be a problem with her back at some point. Don't you?
Just throw a watermelon or two in your bra and take those for a spin for about 30 minutes around your living room. Oh, God.
Yeah, they are the size of watermelons. That's right.
Yeah. And I mean, my goodness. Jane Russell, does she still make an 18-hour bra? Because she needs 2 of those.
Yeah, the tag whore thing gets old. I mean, it really does. She's sitting over in Kick. She has no one watching her anymore. No one's missing her over in on YouTube. It's
So
amazing. Like, where did all those people go? Because I haven't seen them. Laura thought she'd get them, but
and
that
that's
didn't work.
her. That more than anything, not having the adoring masses. Yeah, and why doesn't she? Since everybody loves her so much.
Yeah, where are they?
Where are they? If
You'd
she's
think that
not
they would be waiting.
yeah, it's YouTube or Kick is the new YouTube.
And why does she delete everything? That's my question, is why?
Well, I mean,
Why? Does she say something on them that, because I've only been able to get clips. I
well,
can't manage to.
maybe she's finally like figured out that, oh my goodness, I say a lot of dumb, gross shit that,
I don't think so.
my kid and all his friends may not, may not be the best,
For them to see.
although I think she only cares about herself, so that probably
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
factor into anything she does. But that's
Yeah, she would involve him in all that.
she and Betty should be roommates at some point, I would imagine, because
Yeah, I don't think she can stand Betty.
well, she's not wrong on that front. Yeah, no,
I don't think she can stand Laura either. I think it's mutual.
I don't think any of those vapid people can stand. All they do is, I don't think any of them have any true friends. I mean, they might have at some point in their life, and they might in their real
Princess.
lives, they might have. I can see where Molly would, maybe 1 or 2.
But she's on
Okay,
there all the time. She has Princess. That's
Laura.
it.
Betty? No. Betty has. I know she says she has that one person, but she might pay them to
Yeah, I can't see Laura having friends either.
friend endorsement. I mean, let's face it. Truthfully, I don't know. It's a big, wide world. I think we can throw each of them one person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Princess is a friend to Molly more than she's a friend to him. But
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah.
Definitely. And but yeah, there's no yeah, no. All right, girl. It's
Okay, so I need to. What's my homework? To watch Michelle.
I'm gonna find that I'll send you the clip because it's out
Okay.
on my TV. Yeah, it's just a quick little. I think it's like 10 minutes, something like that. And
Okay.
and Emmy's gonna send me the timestamps for Betty's performance this morning.
Okay, cool.
We'll reconvene. What's tomorrow? Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
And then Monday's a holiday, I think.
Yep. I will. Oh, yes, I am. I will get with you tomorrow about a time.
Okay, just text me.
Okay, I will do that.
All right, sweetie. We'll see you later.
Alrighty.
Bye, chat, everybody.
All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate y'all joining me. This was fun. I want to do more fun where we laugh at assholes' expense. I'm always down to do that. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. And the good news is I didn't have the black screen of death, not even once. And hey, Liza. Bye, Liza. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody who came in towards the end that I didn't say hello to. I wasn't ignoring you. I just did not, I wasn't looking at the chat. All right, y'all. I'm going to go find something for dinner. Oh, wait, before I go, on that note, I have to do a little rant. This pissed me off so bad. I asked my husband to get me, he called me from the store. He's like, do you want anything? I said, could you just grab me a box of Fruity Pebbles? Okay. So he comes home and I had already eaten, what did I eat? I don't know, something that was real food. Oh no, I think I had an apple turnover. It was sugar. But he's like, do you want me to leave them out on the counter or put them in the pantry? I said, oh, just leave them on the counter. I said, I'm going to have some later. And he said, oh, your dessert cereal? I said, yeah. So I go about hour and a half later to pour myself a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, except it wasn't Fruity Pebbles. Do you know what those bastards are doing? I looked at the box and I said, what the hell is this? It said Fruity Pebbles Crunch something. And I was like, stop fucking around with my cereal. I'm a purist. I do not, I want unadulterated, all sugar, all fake, artificially colored Fruity Pebbles. Do not squish them together and call them Crunch something or other. And I thought, okay, just hold on. Don't go off the deep end yet. Maybe they'll be, I don't know, this could be a good thing. If they really do just squish them all together. Okay. I opened the box up. I looked at him. And in the kitchen, I said, God damn it! My husband's like, what? I said, those motherfuckers. I said, all that shit is Trix rebranded as Fruity Pebbles something. And it was, and I hate Trix. I was so pissed. What? Like, why are they doing that? General Mills, take note. I am probably the biggest Fruity Pebbles consumer in Florida. Okay? Trust and believe that. And I am not happy that you are trying to rebrand Trix, which is shit. Nobody likes Trix. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. No. And they're damn sure not a poor man's Fruity Pebbles. Okay? So knock the shit off, or I'm going to file a complaint with Bullhorn Betty. However, that being said, that did not stop me from eating the entire box as of this afternoon. I can eat them dry, but when you put the milk in them, ew, something gross happens. They get like this. No. So General Mills, you better knock the shit off, okay? Like I said, otherwise I'm going to be contacting my consumer lawyer, Bullhorn Betty, and the shit is going to hit the fan. All right, everybody. I hope everyone has a great weekend and that you are having a long weekend. Go do something fun with your family. Touch grass. Go to the store. Buy your wife a box of Fruity Pebbles, and not the new and improved, not so much, rebranded, shitty Tricks are for kids. Bye.